dropped. Ooh, I am the drama. I absolutely loved this rollout, J. Rob. I absolutely loved this rollout. Her rollout was very interactive. Yeah, $9.99. She was at bodegas. She had a whole bodega video shoot out in New York. They all came out. She was on the subway selling vinyls and stuff. She was out with her incense on the streets of New York doing it. Selling a very interactive rollout. She was in the streets, like she was in the middle of the street, with doing it. She didn't just do podcasts. She didn't just do talk shows. She didn't just do none of that. She was very interactive with a rollout. I think she has some deal with DoorDash, where you can order her music on DoorDash and it'll deliver to you. Yeah. That was really cool. I haven't seen that before. She just had a lot of different avenues of making sure this album was successful. Of course, the album is already platinum because WAP and Up are on there, so of course it was already going to be platinum. But again, the first week numbers will not reflect WAP and Up. It won't reflect, that the first week numbers won't reflect those older songs. Right. So I can't wait to see what the numbers are. I have some predictions, but before we get into that, love the features on the album. She had Summer Walker on there, Kehlani. She had this girl named Lourdes. And Lourdes has worked with Nicki Minaj, and she also did a hook for Saweetie, I think. I love her voice. She's really good at hooks, and I like her. I want to get into her music on my own too. She had Cash Cobain on her album. She had a Janet Jackson sample on there. And who else did she have on her album? Damn, Summer Walker. She had Summer Walker, Cash Cobain, Kehlani, Selena Gomez, Lizzo. She had a lot of big hitters. Yeah, it was. I enjoyed the album. I did. I enjoyed the album a lot. I love the production.
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson sample. She had a sample in there. SZA was supposed to be on the album. I guess she didn't turn in her voice. She didn't turn. I guess SZA didn't turn in her verse in time. She tweeted out something and basically said she had a lot going on and she had to focus on herself. So that's why she didn't turn in her verse. Right. So Summer Walker is actually featured on her album twice, and you can tell that. I think it's the opening song "Dead" features Summer Walker, and you can tell that was meant for Lizzo. We all can tell. People were saying that as well. Not Lizzo. You can tell it was meant for SZA. You can tell that the song "Dead" was meant for SZA and not Summer Walker. But Summer Walker did it justice. I always think that's so interesting when people can just when a song is meant for someone else, there's always a similar artist that can kind of do it for you real quick. Right. But you can still I know SZA was supposed to. I know SZA ain't turning her verse in time. Right, damn. Right.
Generic brand.
But
Nah, it's like the generic brand versus the.
I don't think it's generic. You think Summer Walker's generic?
No, I'm just saying an analogy of what you're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Summer Walker's great.
She is great. I'm just saying there's always someone similar that can fill in that slot real quick. But we all know when we heard that hook and we heard that ending, they pitched up Summer Walker's vocals at the end. It was giving SZA. Even when the way she was singing it, this is so SZA coded. Damn, I wish SZA was the one that sung this. Girl. Yeah. So yes, and then Summer Walker was also on Shower Tears, which is a great song. I really like Shower Tears. I love Dead. I love Magnet. I love Safe with Kehlani. I love the Bodega song. I love the Cash Cobain feature she has on there. I like a lot of the album. A lot. She definitely whacked a few rap girls. She had an Ice Spice whack in there. She had a JT whack in there. She went in on JT She went in on JT. She was like, you share bags with your man, and you not a fashion girl. You only go to Rick Owens. You only can do Rick Owens, and all, you're not really that girl like that. She spent some time on JT, and you know what? She had a whole song for Bia. Oh yeah. She said Bia name and everything. Dang. It was a lot. So they asked her, and I'm like, I've never even usually when it's a hard, you only hear someone say someone's name in a song when it's a hard concrete, this is some real, we really beefing hoe, and she didn't even she, when her and Bia were going at it, she hopped on the Wannabe remix with Glorilla and Megan, and she name dropped Bia on the remix. But then Bia came out with another disc that was kind of, it fell short, and I guess she left it alone. I didn't know that she was going to have the song on this album, and she was going to whack her like directly. I guess, she felt like female rappers were trying her for the past few years, and she felt like, she felt like a lot of girls tried to beef with her to appease another fan base. Right. She did a Breakfast Club interview actually, and she spoke on that. We can play a clip here. Where is it at? Here.
Because you mentioned my kids trying to be cute.
So sorry. Before I play the clip, she was explaining to Lauren LaRosa on the Breakfast Club why she chose to put the Be a Diss record on the album, and why she chose to put it out in any way. So here she is.
Because you mentioned my kids trying to be cute. There's gonna be times that like people throw shots at you, or like there's gonna be times like like when she did her little diss and it was trash. Like it's like, it could have been trash. People dragged you, and I could have leave it at that. But it's like everything on social media is gonna be seen. Mm-hmm. So when my kids grow up one day and they see that you mentioned them, and then they're gonna ask me like, so what you said, what you did. I'm not gonna tell my kids like, I just felt like she took the high road because she lost, because people wasn't on her side. No, I'm not saying that to my kids. I'm like, you see how I violated, and it's more. You know what it is? I feel like last year every artist was like beefing. Girl, like every artist was beefing, and I think she was gonna get a moment out of that because she thought that I was copying her. And I had a conversation with her. First, we was cursing each other out. Then I had a real conversation with her, and I was like, listen, I'm not copying you. I don't even look at you. Like, you're not a person that I look at or I'm inspired by. And the conversation ended. Then she kept going because of a music.
Yeah, so that whole Cardi B and Bia beef, that was kind of tired for me. I'm not sure if I was recording around that time. I'm not sure if we talked about that. But that beef definitely annoyed me, because I just felt like, because I think Bia is very talented and I love her rapping voice. I do think that she can be a bit boring sometimes, and I do, I see, the critiques about Bia, I kind of agree with some things that people say, but I just felt like that whole beef that Bia had with Cardi B, I felt like that was her trying to clout chase. I felt like, once again, like Cardi said, it was popular to have rap beefs and stuff like that, and then of course Bia was on the Nicki side of things, so I feel like she was pandering when she was beefing with Cardi B, especially when when Bia first came up, she was a Cardi B fan. She would tweet Cardi B and all these things, and she went back and deleted all the Cardi B tweets and withdrew her support out of nowhere for no reason, and then tried to accuse Cardi of copying her or whatever. And, Cardi was just like, I don't look to you for inspiration. And I believe her, and, so I just felt like that whole thing was a clout chase thing. And it just felt so corny to me. And I was so annoyed because I'm like, girl, Bia, you're really talented. Like, I really do enjoy Bia's music. Like, I'll, watch YouTube videos and stuff and like let it play out when I'm getting ready to go somewhere or whatever. And like, she has, like, and she's on my shuffle and stuff. Like, Bia has good music. Bia is very talented, but sometimes she can fall short when it comes to like keeping your attention and just being interesting. You know what I mean?
That's
sometimes I think that sometimes Bia can be underwhelming a bit, in my opinion. So when Cardi B said, I don't look to you for anything, I believe it, because sometimes I just feel like she's a bit underwhelming. And I don't blame Cardi B for putting that song on there. Like, she explained it like, this is for you mentioned my kids, you mentioned my family. That's the same logic that Nicki Minaj had when she clapped back at Megan Thee Stallion with the whole Megan's Law thing. I didn't, Nicki Minaj kind of flew off the handle with a lot of things, but like she was just like, you mentioned my family, I'm going in on you and I'm saying your name, I'm gonna violate you. And that was the logic behind Cardi B putting on. I get it, like that's fine. Listen, you come from my family, I'm gonna handle it this way. I'm gonna violate you this way. There's no ceiling. So I get that.
Facts.
I get that. So yeah, like there were a lot of mixed reviews on the album. I see a lot of people, saying that they loved it. Some people said they think it was mid. Some people think that we waited this long for what. But I saw way more positive feedback than
Right.
But a lot, I was surprised to see like a lot of like even like heavy hip hop heads like low key liked her album. Did you follow him on Twitter?
Yeah.
He low key enjoyed, because low key like on the Ebro show with low key and Nadeska, low key is definitely like, he's someone that he doesn't seem biased at all, and he'll go in. He's he speaks his mind. He's very blunt with his feedback. So that was pretty cool to see that he enjoyed Cardi B's album, because he definitely, I think he was one of the ones that didn't too much care for her Jay-Z sample. But he liked her album. Ebro liked the album, but of course Ebro had an interview, so people are not going to take that too seriously, because they say like, oh, you're a part of her rollout, so you're gonna lie and say that, whatever. But low key definitely was interested. He loved the album. I think Elliot Wilson liked her album. I think he liked her rollout. I'm not sure what he said about her album. I think Cardi B and Joe Budden, I guess they don't get along or something. I don't really know what's going on with that. I think Joe Budden spoke about her album on the show. I didn't really watch the whole thing, but he, him and his co-host, they enjoyed some parts of her album, and then I guess at one point Joe questioned. I guess it was a bar that Cardi B rapped. And I guess I think it was in the Magnet song, the JT diss song. I think he was complimenting a certain bar that she rapped, and he was saying like, whoever wrote that was just backhanded compliment, whatever. So then Cardi B came out, and she actually played her writing her raps in her drafts. Like, I guess she was recording. However, I don't really know the process of writing raps, whether people write it down on a pad, or they just rap it on their phone real quick, and they build multiple ways to do it. I guess she was just, Cardi B was rapping. She was just rapping ideas of the song, and she was rapping, and she showed her process of coming up with her lyrics after Joe Budden gave her that backhanded compliment. So she posted that, and it was time stamped and everything. So she posted that. She loves a receipt. So I love a good receipt too, girl. So there was that. I guess when they want to, how a backhanded compliment is, like, this was hard. Who wrote this? Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't ever give her that credit. Once again, Cardi B does get help with writing, but then she also writes her own stuff too. Like, I don't really when someone gets help with writing, I'm not really a fan of people automatically assuming they didn't write any of it. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I've been on the show. And I've said plenty of times, it doesn't matter to me who wrote something. Like, I'm not really the one that's like a stickler for that nowadays. As like, maybe back in the day I probably would say some. Maybe back in the day when I didn't know better, I probably said some dumbass shit. But I really don't care who writes what, as long as it's a good song. Because
that's all that matters.
I don't think that like. When people get help with writing, or when people get help with writing, or when people take a reference track or something, I don't really think of it as like cheating when it comes to creating an experience. Like, it's creating an experience. Like, I just feel like, just like a lot of other different art forms, music is a collaborative experience. Even if you do write all your lyrics, you got help in some other way with the hook, or with the production, or with something else. Right. I don't think you getting help with writing doesn't make you any less of a creative. It just means that in this area you shine over here, or in this area, like, you may need help with this and that. I feel like everyone gets help. Everyone gets inspiration from somewhere, from someone.
It's all about the final product.
I think on the song Salute on her album, I think she said that she actually got that song from 2 Chainz. I think it was 2 Chainz' song at first, and he let her have it. It definitely gives 2 Chainz. It gives like old Migos. Like, I feel like if her and Offset were cool, her having Offset on that song like would have been perfect. Yes, it would have been fire. But I think on Salute, I wish she layered some of the song more. Like, when she says salute, I wish she would have like kept 2 Chainz's vocals on that salute, when she says salute. Right. I think I wish she would have like layered that part, and maybe kept 2 Chainz's vocals on that part to give it like that deep type of that deep texture to it. I think she should have did something like that for that one. Some songs, I feel like some songs were too short, but I guess I don't know if it was a feature thing, or I don't know, because it's a 23 song album.
Right.
But yeah, I don't really. I think I give it like an 8, because I just feel like, I'm not grading it based off of other people. When it comes to these fan bases, and it comes to Cardi B and other girls, they love to compare different sides and like make it about this person, that person. It gets so exhausting. It's fun to have a banter with that, but it gets kind of tired and annoying when it always comes to that. Like, I just enjoy, like, every artist is different. Enjoy the music in regards to that artist, to said artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you comparing it to this and that? I saw somebody tweet, one of my friends tweeted, and I almost replied, but I didn't want to get into an argument because sometimes, like, even arguing about dumb shit online makes you look dumb. But they said something like when she was whacking JT and whacking Ice Spice and whacking Bia on her album, they were like, yeah, if they tweeted that if I were the girls, I wouldn't respond. It's going to give her more press. And I almost responded to that. I'm like, but I'm just like, in my head, I'm just like, why would those girls need to give her press? Like, Cardi is a bigger star than all the girls. Like, Cardi B is doing them a favor by even mentioning them. Like, so if they respond on Twitter or not, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really do Cardi B a favor. It was just weird to me. It was almost like, it just almost seems like, it's that parasocial thing where it's like, and the thing is, like, they don't even know these people in real life. They haven't even met these people in real life, and it's almost like, they're like acting out. They're acting out at the I don't know. It just feels like they're acting out of spite of them being a part of someone else's fan base and that person being their op. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird. It's like, why are you mad that this lady put out her album? Either hear the album or not. Like, it's just like, what? Like, it's just weird. Like, no one's watching you freaking 24. Be Team Nikki. Like, no one's watching. No one's giving. No, you're not getting a benefit from that. Like, your replies and your tweets are going to get lost in the sauce. Like, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, like, calm down. You either like it or not, and like move on. Like, you tweeting and spiteful stuff about people that you don't know is crazy. But anyway,
weird times.
Very weird times. So, of course, so a part of her press tour, of course, like I said, she did some podcast interviews. She also, like, she was very interactive with her rollout. She went on the subway in the Bronx and, she did her thing too. She stopped by Gayle King on CBS. She had a whole Gayle King interview, and she revealed that she is pregnant. She revealed that she's pregnant, which we all knew. She showed the baby bump on Gayle King. She premiered the pregnancy announcement and the baby bump on Gayle King. So she is indeed pregnant by Stefon Diggs. And she said, yes, I am pregnant by my boyfriend Stefon Diggs. She said that straight up, like, it's not ain't no puzzle. I am pregnant by my boyfriend Stefon Diggs.
Cardi always keeps it real.
So there was that, but then she also announced a tour, which starts February. Okay. She's pregnant right now, and she announced a tour that starts February. So on the Breakfast Club, they were asking, like, are you gonna? So when is the baby due? And she was like, before the tour. I mean, yeah, but like, so right now it's September. So that means is the baby gonna be born in December? Because you know what I'm saying? Because it's October, November, December. Like, in 3 months, are you 6 months pregnant or something? I guess she might be 6 months. But girl, the tour starts in February. And you dropped the baby in December. That's a lot. But she did say, this isn't my first rodeo. This is my fourth child, because again, she was supposed to go on tour with Bruno Mars. Her album came out, but she was pregnant with Culture, and she dropped out of that. Right. That's what she was saying. When I was pregnant with Culture, I didn't know what I was doing. But this isn't my first rodeo. This is my fourth child. I have a plan. I have a strict plan. I'm here for it. So I do want to actually go on her tour, but I will say this: I am a bit apprehensive, so I think I will wait. I think I'll wait to buy my ticket. I think because the ticket's already about to go on sale. I think pre-sale is about to come out soon, but I am apprehensive a bit. So I think I will wait. I do want to go, but I think I will wait before I buy a ticket. I think that's fair.
That's fair, yeah.
In my opinion, I think that's fair.
That's fair.
Yes. But of course, she announced the pregnancy she officially announced the pregnancy with Stefon Diggs. And of course, they dug up Stefon's tea. So there has been rumors that, Stefon Diggs has other women pregnant right now. And then there's one situation where, he got some IG model that he allegedly had a baby with back in December or back in May, I think. Yeah. Or I don't know. He recently had a baby with an IG model that he's not with, and right now he is petitioning for a paternity test. It's saying that if he is the father, that he wants to have joint custody, this and that or whatever, and so there's that. I guess the woman is suing him for something. I guess I didn't look too much into it. But right now I don't know if I want to say that he's denying paternity, but he is petitioning for a paternity test on the child. There are pictures. The TMZ people, they got images of him leaving the hospital with the girl girl from the girl having birth with the baby back in a few months ago, I think. So there's that. So there's mess with that. People dug that up because he's now linked to Cardi B. So they said they think that they're frowning on Cardi B even getting pregnant by him, and the fact that she just had a baby. But people have words for that, and for me, in my opinion, I'm not too invested. Like I said before, like I'm not really too invested in the specifics of that whole thing, only because these people have way more money than me, and I don't think I need to. If they're not stressing, I'm not stressing. Like, you're rich, you have resources, and some people will say things like, oh, just because you're rich and have resources, why are you still bringing kids into certain circumstances like that? When it comes to that ain't my business either. Like, I don't really, a lot of this isn't my business, but I'm going to pick and choose what I want to step my foot in, and I'm not really going to concern myself with that either. I'm just not. They said that he has other people that are pregnant right now or had babies just now, and she just had a baby with Offset, and then she's pregnant with his baby, and then also they're not even officially divorced yet, so she has a messy thing going on, he has a messy thing going on. So it's like I don't think it's a thing where like they don't know what's going on with each other's lives. So I think they're all pretty downloaded on each other's situations. It's a lot of tea and a lot of mess going on. So listen, if you like it, I love it. Okay, that's my whole thing. So it's like I'm not really going to dive into the messiness with that, because it's just like there's low hanging fruit there. It's just because like, why are you're getting pregnant right before tour as a whole. But like I said, so I'm just going to act accordingly when it comes to this. I do want to go see Cardi B on tour, but I'm going to wait to buy tickets first. I want to see something real quick. I want to see something real quick, because that's pretty quick. Like, you at the very least you're going to have that baby in December. And your tour starts in February, so that's like what, like 8 weeks after the baby? That's quick. Not even 8 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. And then on top of that, the Super Bowl. Let me actually hold on. The Super Bowl is always in February. Is it the first Sunday or second Sunday?
Things like this.
It's always the second Sunday.
Or the third, or something like that. But
it's always in February, and I don't really know, because Stephon Diggs, he plays for the New England Patriots, right? Are they looking good right now?
They always been trashed since. For a long time now, but
he just joined that team. So how they looking right now? Are they did they win yet or what?
I'm about to see.
Because her first date is Palm Desert, California, on February the 11th.
Palm Desert,
and February 11th is the second week of February, and the Super Bowl probably will be that Sunday, probably, right?
I think so.
Then it's also the Grammys too. The Grammys is always in February, right. And you just put out an album. That album, I'm not sure. Did the album make the Grammy deadline? It didn't.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So you looking up their numbers?
Yeah, I'm about to look.
Cause like, girl, like that's a lot. Like, February is a lot. Like, is Stephon going to make the Super Bowl? Like, he might make the Super Bowl this time. Who knows?
Oh, they 1-1.
They're 1-1 right now. The New England Patriots. Yeah. So what if Stephon has a good season, he makes Super Bowl? That's a lot right there too. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. So I don't know. And you're gonna wanna be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's a lot. That's a lot. But anywho, yeah. So I'm not gonna concern. I have my own stresses. So that when it comes to that mess, just let it play out. Listen, before I buy my ticket, I'm gonna be honest. Before I buy my ticket, I need to see something first. I need to see how this is going first. Because it's just given like, hopefully this works out. I just feel like having a baby, and then of course you're gonna go and want to get surgery. So that's a lot. That's just a lot. So I don't know. I just feel like hopefully everything is safe, and steady and poised, and hopefully everything works out. That's scary, having a baby, then having gone through surgery, then having the surgery. It's a lot. And also, people, when you have kids, like, that's different depressions, and hopefully her mental is right.
I feel like she's gonna be good.
Yeah, me too. Hopefully, because I do want to see her on tour. But also, before I get off of this topic, Cardi B actually. She was on somebody's podcast or something, and they asked, where is at? Let me see. She was talking about what was that? Okay, yeah. So anyway, Yeah, so she was on a podcast. She was actually out in New York. That was the same day where she had the whole bodega stuff going on in New York. An interviewer asked her about, like, you know, how do you feel if your boyfriend ever had a female best friend? And I'm going to play the audio now.
Yes, because it's like sometimes you need advice from.
Does your boyfriend have a girl best friend?
Yes, because it's like sometimes you need advice from a female. So when you fuck up, a female's gonna tell you the truth of where you fuck up. When me and him have issues.
Okay, another thing. Can you take me out the hood? I see you trying to make it out.
I'm about to go back in the hood if y'all don't buy my album.
Please.
So yes, so a fan asked her, you know, about like, oh, what if your boyfriend has a female best friend? And she says, you know, I don't mind I don't mind my man having a female best friend because they can give, you know, that woman can give him good advice, you know, when he F's up or whatever, and, you know, from a female perspective. And so for me, I added that to the list of this episode because, you know, it kind of triggered my memory of my experiences of situations like that. I had a similar thing like that. So I think it just depends on the man you have, and you know, and I've learned when it comes to certain issues, when it comes to it depends on your man and what they can handle and what you trust them with. I just feel like at that point when you say that, like, you shouldn't even be with that man. When it comes to it depends on the man, I'll expound. I was in a relationship back in like my early 20s, where my boyfriend, he had like a few female friends. But it turned out those female friends were just women that friend zoned him, if that makes sense.
I get it.
Yeah. So like whenever we would have a problem, and it took me a while to realize that, but whenever we had a problem or a big fight, I would hear about him talking about me to the other girls. And I actually didn't like that. Yes. Because, you know, with men, a lot of times with men, they're not going to tell the story the way it went. A lot of times when men are going through with their woman, it's probably something that he did, and he's just not telling the story the right way. But when we would get into it, he would go off and complain about me to other women. I don't like that. Like, because I don't know these women, and I don't know their intentions, and I don't know what, you know, like I said, I had to learn. I eventually learned that those girls that he was cool with friend zoned him. Right. So a lot of times, you know, I feel like when it comes to men, they complain about their girl to a girl that they had a crush on. I feel like that's a way of them trying to get with you. Like you coming and complaining about another girl to them, and, you know, I just feel like that's just a way of. I feel like guys are sneaky. I just don't trust that. I feel like when it came to him, he would do that. He would go to girls that friend zoned him, that he liked before, that friend zoned him, talking about me, and like I guess that's a way of them like feeling bad for him, and like maybe like, you know, like developing feelings for him or whatever. I don't know, but it just felt like it was hidden intentions when he would do things like that. And also that's very inappropriate in my opinion. I just feel like it's inappropriate for a man to discuss their issues with their women with other women. I just think that's inappropriate. I just think it is. But if you are with a man that you trust, and you trust that he's mature enough to actually explain a situation to his female friend and not complain about you and talk shit about you. Like, I'm not a fan of men venting about their women to other women. I'm just not a fan of that whole venting thing. But when it comes to, the man is going to their female best friend when it comes to getting advice on something and, you know, expressing, you know, expressing the issue and wanting to find a solution, that's cool. But you venting to other women about me, absolutely not. I'm sorry. And if you're the kind of guy that does that, then I don't want to be with him, because I don't want no woman think that she has a one up on me and knowing my business. Absolutely, that's a no for me. I'm sorry, no. So that's true. If I am with a man and that kind of thing presents itself, where it's like, I'm kind of conflicted between feeling like I can trust you when it comes to you having one. If I even have any conflictions with that, I'm leaving. I just don't think I would want to even be in that situation. Right. I just don't think so, and I think it's inappropriate for men to vent about their women to other women. I just don't like that. Like, are you being a chatty? In other words, in Dame Dash's words, you being a chatty patty. I don't want no chatty patty ass nigga. I'm the chatty patty in the relationship. That's just how I feel about that. But anywho, lastly,
that's too funny. Yeah.
Lastly, Let me see. Oh, wait, hold on. Did chart data come out with the predictions? It says Cardi B's "Am I the Drama" aiming for #1 debut on Billboard 200 album charts with 125 to 150K units first week. Oh, whoa, is that going to be 200? I thought it was going to be at least 200K first week. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see, because all of her singles are in the top 10 on US Apple Music. Oh, it says on chart data, aiming for it says 125 between 125 and 150K first week. I mean, I did say that it needs to be at least 150K for it not to be a flop, in my opinion. Nowadays, the way music is nowadays, but damn, I was hoping that it would be at least 200s.
Shit, that shit should be at least 3. Knowing her.
Let me see.
People don't be tuned in like that.
Damn. Someone said based on just 1 day of streaming.
Oh, okay.
Not including I don't know. We'll see what it says when the actual numbers come out. But I really do hope it gets into the 200s. I really hope that.
It should.
I hope so. Did you see that whole AI thing about that whole AI artist that was signed?
Yeah, I heard about it.
Let me see. Hold on. I think Kaylani had something to say about that. Actually, she was kind of pissed about that. But that's going to lead me into my next thing. I'm going to say just briefly. Hold on. It says.